That's not what the world wants. You see, the gospel the world wants to hear, the gospel that you see preached on TV a lot, the gospel that you read about in books that by health and wealth pastors are just simply half the gospel. It's all about the love of God, right? But you don't hear about the kindness and the severity of God. And we need to know that because they both should make us tremble with excitement and tremble with fear. Right? I mean, we need to hear both of those. But you see, the politically correct God is just the God of everybody, right? But the God of the Bible is not a politically correct God. Because the politically correct God that everybody in our world wants is, well, everybody gets in. The requirement for heaven is death. Everybody gets in because a good God, a loving God is not going to make anybody go to hell. He's not going to send anybody to hell because everybody gets in, right? Oh, the politically correct God is Mr. Rogers. He wants everybody to be his neighbor, nobody to be his enemy. Right? I mean, that's the politically correct God. But let me tell you, that's a shriveled up God that I don't want to serve. Let me tell you why. Because that God's so shriveled up, he can't do anything about the injustice in the world because he's not a just God. He's just a loving God. He's a nice little granddaddy, benevolent. But he's not a just God. That's a shriveled up God that I don't want to serve. That's a shriveled up God that I don't want to serve because that God didn't cost him anything for my salvation or for yours. Oh, he just loves everybody and everybody gets in. Doesn't make me want to worship him and honor him and serve him. It makes me almost pity him because he wants and needs friends. But that's not the God of the Bible, folks. That's not the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is a loving God. He loves beyond what you can ever imagine. He's a just God beyond what you could ever conceive. He's a just God, and because he is loving and because he is just, listen, our sin had to be paid for. And he is just beyond what you can conceive. And so he's not going to let it slide. It had to be paid for. He had to deal with it. And he is loving beyond what you can imagine. And so therefore, he dealt with it by pouring his wrath against our sin out upon his son. And so that God is a God who loves beyond what you can imagine, and he's just beyond what you can conceive. That means he can take care of injustice in the world. There will be no sin that will go unpunished. So if someone sins against you, that sin will be paid for either by Jesus on the cross or by that person, because that God is an omnipotent, powerful, loving, just God. That's a God that I will serve and give my all to, not the politically correct God we make today. I will not serve that God. Neither should you.